Howdy guys, Renzo Mox here, and I'm here to kind of make a different video. I usually don't make videos like this, but you know what, I figured now would be the time to do so. This is not going to be a traditional mock review, but instead a tour of all my parts. I have a lot of parts to go through, all my parts buckets, everything behind the scenes that you haven't really seen in this or my newer types of videos. Because this is where I build all my Lego sets, in fact. So if I ever do a live stream or live build in the future, it'll be taking place here. But I want to give you the whole setup. And by the way, I hope you like the new intro. Just something I kind of fashioned together. So, yeah. Let's move on. Let's get started right away. This is a kind of a studio tour thing. So, let's just get started right away. So, before we can get on to the really big boxes that are super awesome and have all my actual parts in here, there's one bucket here that I like to reference and a bucket further on that I'll show you a little bit later. But this bucket just includes all the stuff I have not sorted yet, bigger items too, like cannon or turret pieces, like guns, big Hero Factory, or why did I call this Hero Factory? Bionicle. A few of these parts I've yet to actually put most of them in here, but I do have lots of those. And all these flame parts that are just big and take up a lot of space. They're all in here, including stuff like this, little Invasion from Below Talon piece, even like Hero Factory visors, and even this piece. Yeah, so it's just kind of the random. As you can see, it's got treads, it's got these pieces. It really is miscellaneous, frick, I cannot say that word. Sorry, guys. Miscellaneous sort of bucket. There we go. So yeah, it's got all the cool stuff. I don't really use this one that often, though, so I just kind of put it off to the side here. Okay, now we're going to go over my first row of parts right here. This is one whole container, and there are more boxes down here you just can't really see, but I'll move the camera down when it gets there. The company who made these, I don't actually know the company, but they're referred to as really useful box, as you can see there. So, are they useful? Yeah, kind of. I probably, actually, in the future, I will end up taking off the lids just because it's really inconvenient to just go out, take off the lid, grab my part, then put it back, and then, well, yeah, put the lid back on, put it back in there, and then just have to do that again when I need that part again. And cleaning it up is not fun, so I probably will just take off the lid so it's much easier. Yeah, I probably will do that, honestly. But let's just begin the tour, I suppose. So this is, as you saw earlier, these are all pins, just regular pins. These include frictionless pins, so the light gray ones and the black ones. That's all I have in here, and there's quite a lot of them. I do have quite a lot of these parts, but are you surprised? Probably not. In fact, I know people who have way more of those than me. That's just not even, like, people probably have, like, 4 buckets full of them. Next up we have half pin, half axles. As you can see, I have a lot less of these. And I know they do come in different colors, like light gray, but I just don't have them. Yeah, so I have a lot less of these, and honestly, that's okay. Here we have the double length, I just call it double length. It's the pin that is like really long. I have it in like 4 colors: black, tan, light gray, and blue. Obviously blue is the majority color there, but still, there's that. Next up we have all axles with stoppers. These include stoppers that have studs on them, and stoppers that just have the end stopper part. So they come in a bunch of different colors. We got brown, tan, black. So yeah, that's it for the first row. Now let's take a look at the second row, where things get a little bit stranger and a little bit more confusing. As I say, I'm gonna say this a lot of times. In this video, I need more buckets. I'm in dire need. Here we have these Technic parts. They're like the really thin parts. It's all sizes from 2 to just any other size. It's very strange. It's really weird. It's hard to kind of pick parts through here, so I'm definitely going to change that in the future once I get more of these small ones, but you can't really see it. I'll show you that once we get there. Next up we have, I almost said Hordika necks. These are Glotorian necks. They only come in 2 colors for me. I know they come in more colors, but these are all I have. Dark bluish gray and black. So these are useful parts. A lot of people like them, so yeah. These are Hordika necks. Whoa, that was bright. I only have them in 2 colors. I think they only do come in 2 colors. Correct me if I'm wrong. I have a good amount of them. They look really cool. They're nice pieces. But yeah. Now, again, this is another confusing box. I'm not very proud of this one. It's every single type of these pieces, including the ones that are just a pinhole and then the axle holder. So, you can kind of, let's see, can you see one? Yeah, so it's just all these parts, any size. I'm not very happy with this. I'm going to get another colored one like this to sort them properly, because I'm just not a big fan of that. Here we have these parts, including the kind of L-shaped version that came on Akimu 2016's hammer. I'm not sure if you can really see them there. It's kind of at the bottom. Yeah, you can kind of see it. These are useful. I have enough of these, so yeah, they're pretty cool. Next up we have these axle pieces with the ball joint in the middle to attach armor to, and these are nice, very useful, and I have a good chunk of them, so there's that. Now we have gearbox parts. I only have about 4 of them in there, or, sorry, 5. Yeah, 5 of them, sorry. 2 of them are in use, I believe. Yeah, about 2 of them. And honestly, if I were to take those 2 apart, it would start to get even more overflowed. So, I don't know what I'm going to do with those. Here are some of these pieces. They appeared a lot in the Star Wars sets and are being used more in Bionicle 2016. You can kind of see my camera there. Right there. You can probably see me too. Hello. So they come in a bunch of different colors. I have them in brown and light gray and black. So that's really cool. Now we're on to the final row, which is all miscellaneous, or miscellaneous, there we go, sorry. Here we have all my capes and fabric. That red is not really a cape, it's my custom thing that I did for a Negan mock. You can go check that out on my channel. So mostly Star Wars stuff, but there is a cape from Furno XL in there. And I still have an extra cape laying around. It's getting pretty stuffed. I'll probably change this, but it's just kind of there to be there. So, yeah. These are old Glotorian hands. Most of them are cracked. You can see a lot of cracked hands in there. Why do I keep the cracked ones? I don't know. I just don't want to replace them yet. These are all Glotorian. That's it. So they're just the 3-fingered, 4-fingered hands. Here we have the old Bionicle socket joints, including the older ones. As you can see, that black one in there, and there's my lamp, and then the 2008 version. So, yeah, not a super big fan of these, but I keep them around anyways. And finally, for this, we have all of my ball and socket pieces. There's my face again. Hello! These are cool. So yeah, I do have lots of them. It's overflowing. I got black, blue, red, gray. Limited on colors, but as you can see, all the blue and the red are right there. So that was it for the first row, and that took 7 minutes. I'm very sorry about that. I'll try to go a little faster during the Technic row. Okay, so here we are in the second, and I call this the Technic bins, because these are Technics. And as you can see, these are a lot smaller than the previous ones. There are definitely a lot, they're a lot smaller, and that just fell over. But they're smaller, and honestly, I think it's pretty cool. And they're also color-coded, so, you know, that's awesome. I like these. Also, my Mask of Time, because I'm too cheap to actually afford a real Mask of Time, is just on display right there, including my new logo, which I do enjoy quite a lot. So let's just get through this really quickly. There's not much to talk about here. We have all my axles. These include black and red axles. That's about it. We have my, and I'm just going to let that fall. We have my 3 long axles. I have a short amount of them, but also I have tons of red axles. Here we have 4 long. I don't have a super ton of them, but they're still cool. 5 long. These ones are a bit rare, or a bit more rare, at least for me. Going down a bit, we have the 6 size axles. So we have 6. Cool. And then that's a break from axles because I didn't have any more room for axles. So here we have these, what are they, hose? No, not hoses. They are 2 length pins, double pins, with the axle, or with the bushing at the end. So yeah, I do have a few of these. These were used a lot in Hero Factory, Invasion from Below, so you got a lot of them, and also, yeah, they're cool. I like to use them for guns. Here we have all my ball and socket, or just ball joint parts. These are cool. These are the ones with holes through them, and the ones with, or they're the ones with axle holes all the way through, and ones with just a little poke at the end. They're red and black, although I know there are more colors. Here we have all my knob gears, as I learned that they're actually called. I only have them in yellow and black, and I have quite a few of them for my 2015 and 2016 duplicates. Sorry, I kind of stopped there. Let's move the camera down a bit. And we have the last, okay, it's not going to cooperate with me. Sorry if you hear, okay, there we go. We have the final row, or the final 2 rows. This is very messy. It's just all my gears, all my other types of gears. So you have friction gears, pretty much next size, and then we have this really big one here. So not a big fan of this one. I will definitely be resorting this one. So yeah. Here we have all my bushings and half bushings. Cool. Not my favorite parts. They're definitely parts I don't get really excited about. Here we have, I think this is just not half axles. It's axles with a half axles on the end, and they're axles with studs on the end. So, is that a reverse stud? No, that's just a regular stud. So yeah, these are cool. They are very similar parts, so I put them together. And now these are also interesting. We have the parts with, on one side you have 1 axle hole, and and on the other side you have 2 pinholes. I have a decent amount of these parts. Yeah, it's enough, you know. And to the final row we have all these T parts, the ones with the axle sticking out, and I believe those are 3 long, correct me if I'm wrong. And, no, maybe 3 long, I can't tell. And then the ones without the axles. So, yeah, I do have a few red ones and also a few yellow ones in there. Don't remember where I got the yellow ones from, though. That's kind of strange. I never remember getting them. Here we have the same piece that we dealt with previously, except this one has a mix of just the ones with a pin and axle hole on the same side, and one with the axle and the pinhole on different sides. And also ones where it's just pinholes and pinholes. If you can see that black one up there. So that's really interesting. I have quite a few of those, including the elusive green one from Umarak. Love that recolor. If that even was a recolor, probably not. Here we have all these pieces. I have no idea what you call them, as well as the lightsaber parts. So these are definitely useful, and I like using these, but that's a problem. The lid usually falls off incredibly easily, and I dislike that, but these are still useful. And the final Technic is basically the same part that we were dealing with right here, except it is with the 2 axle holes on one side and the pinhole in the middle. So I don't have too many of those. I really have to get more. But that is it for the Technic row, as I call it. Of course, there is Technic on this side, too, but there is more Technic here for smaller parts, and I will be stacking up another box above this one for even more Technic. So let's move on to the final box from really useful boxes. And here we have the final group of boxes from the brand Really Useful Box. These are all my CCBS bones, and I'm very, very happy about this selection because these managed to fit all and every single one of my CCBS bones. So, actually, just as a quick mention, I have extra Umarak the Destroyer stickers up here. That's from the Makuta Combiner. So, those are just hanging out up there for now. But let's get right into it. I don't want to waste too much time because the video has been very long so far, and we haven't even scratched the surface of my parts. So we have friction adders here. Cool, no biggie. Some of these are less useful than others, but still nice overall. Here we have the smallest length of bone. I have 3 colors: trans light blue, dark bluish gray, and black. So yeah, these are nice parts. I have enough of them, so that's cool. Here we have the second shortest length, and this is definitely the most colorful bucket. We have yellow, keat orange, lime green, all trans neon green, trans orange, black. Yeah, I'm not going to name all the colors. Point is, there is a lot of these colors and a lot of those parts in there. So, yeah. Here we have the regular size of the CCBS bone. This is actually the first of 2 buckets because there are 2 buckets holding the same part. This is mostly black and blue, or trans light blue, and I do like this part the most. Out of all the bone pieces, I think this is my favorite size. And here we have the bucket number 2, which includes a lot more, or a lot different colors. We have, also includes, you can't really see it here. In fact, I don't even think I have any of the pieces in here, but they also include those new skeleton bones. This is where I'd put them, so you can just see a bunch of different colors in there. Now we have the second largest main bone piece, or not second, third largest. This, again, it's also pretty colorful, but it's mostly filled with gray, as well as a lot of trans parts. I don't use these much, or I don't use these that much, but they're still cool. Here we have the second largest bone piece, and again, this one doesn't even shake. This one, there's so many of them, they don't even shake. I like this piece too, so yeah. And then this is the largest of that main bone piece with a ball joint at the end. I have a few of them, not too much. I have that one red one in there from the Hero Factory Fangs set, so that's cool, I guess. For row number 3, we begin with these parts. And I'm not going to stop because we have number 2, and finally, number 3. And I know what you're thinking, they're not even all full. Why would I need 3 different buckets? Well, they started off being full. Of course, I've made mocks over time that drain a lot of the parts, but there are still so many. 3 buckets worth of that one part. It's really crazy, and honestly, I could probably fit a lot more parts if I could sacrifice 2 of those buckets. Unfortunately, I cannot. So, let's just move on to these pieces. These are the third longest, or the second longest, I'm kind of confused. It's this piece with the 1 pinhole in there. So, that's cool. These are pretty useful. Then we have these parts. They were used a lot in the Star Wars, that's why I have so many. They have 2 pinholes in the middle, very useful. And then we have the longest version of this piece with 4 pinholes. I don't use these ones that much, they come in a bunch of different colors. I got dark red, orange, black, and gray. Yeah, these are alright. Nothing to get too excited about, though. Oh, wait. I just forgot, I wasn't even showing you the final row. There you guys go. Sorry about that. Kind of got a little sidetracked there. Yeah, whoopsie. I forgot to even show you. Okay. Here we have the... Oh, wow. That was very bright. We have the pieces with the ball joint and then the kind of hole that can connect to the balls on both sides. These also include the smaller ones, but I don't have any in there. So, yeah. And for the final bucket, it's not even bones. It's just hand parts. All Hero Factory, CCBS hands, different colors, mostly strange colors. You can barely see any silver in there anymore because I've used most of it. But that is about it for all of my Really useful box collections. But yeah, that's about it for that. So yeah, let's move on to the other parts. So I do want to apologize for kind of making the ending of the last clip that I took kind of awkward. I didn't mean for it to be awkward. I was just kind of like spacing out. So I was kind of like, oh. Okay, so let's go over this. That pink bucket, I will not show you what's inside, but it is all my broken CCBS and Bionicle parts. I just put them in there once they break, and it's a shame because I have lots of friction adders in there, and it kind of sucks. Nail file and toilet paper, very weird, but it's for a tutorial that I'll be uploading probably towards the end of this year. I don't know when. It's just kind of a side project I've been working on, so yeah. Now this bucket right here, this has more miscellaneous parts. These include studs, brain stocks, clip pieces, bolts, minifigure weapons, horns, attachment pieces, Zamor spheres, bullets, really anything that kind of goes to detail a figure, sort of, per se. So this is the second out of the two buckets that I had before. But it's cool. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So let's move on to this next bucket, which I have here, what is this? All my foot pieces? Well, they are, but they're also not. These are all my Hero Factory boot parts. So all these, and Art2D2, I have no idea why he's in there. Get him out. Just all of these Hero Factory foot pieces. So I do have quite a lot, as you can see. These are just, like I just said before, they're all the boot foot pieces. Goes to show how many Lego I've made, and it ticks me off because there's just way too much. It angers me a little bit. But we're going to make a cut, and we're going to go to the rest of my parts. So I know this isn't really part of my Lego collection, but I wanted to show this anyways. Inside this box right here, we have all of my Hero Factory and just general CCBS instruction books, all in this one. And in here we have all of my Bionicle instruction books. Now why did I split them up? I personally think Bionicle is more special than any of them, so I wanted Bionicle to kind of have its own bucket, so when I move out of this house and I kind of get a better look at what it used to be, you kind of get sentimental and be like, oh, these are my old Bionicle instruction books. Get kind of sad, you know? Just a little bit of feelers going around. Just a few Hero Factory boxes, and then I'll move on to these in another clip. So, these two buckets right here, in fact, this one back here, and then this one, let's cover, and then we're going to cover two more, and then I'm probably going to make one last cut, and then we're going to cover the last three. So, this is the remainder of all my Technic. These are anything, these are all the parts that I don't have room to sort, and they're just too weird. So, for instance, I have parts like this that I don't really know where to put right now, and then there's parts like this that I don't really know if I want to put it with Technic or weapons or whatever, and I just can't sort them right now. So, like these, I just can't sort them. I can't sort these parts either. There's just way too many parts I cannot sort in here. But this is the remainder of my Technic, and I'm not going to go through all of it because that is a pain. I'm also not going to show you, actually, yes, I can show you this. This is all of my armor plates, and as you can see in there, there is a gold plate that has no printing on it. That is a hint to the video that will be coming out about before the new year. But this is all my CCBS armor plates, including add-ons, anything like that. So I do have tons of them. Obviously, I'm not going to go through them all. It's a crazy process. I'm just going to leave you guys with that, but it is absolutely insane in there. Now, here we have the remainder of all my Bionicle or Hero Factory parts. Or, not parts, I meant feet. So we have lots of these. As you can see, I kind of tried to split it up. We have Baraka feet, these little feet in the corner. Just some of these big feet, some of these. Just kind of getting a look at everything that I kind of have here. You can kind of get a little bit of a perspective of my parts collection and how many parts I actually have. I'm in dire need of parts, so yeah, it's cool, but again, I still have too much, and I still have to sort through them all. just pulling this bucket straight down, you can already see what's in there. It's all body pieces, all related to bodies. So you have regular CCBS skeletons, or you have things like Agori or Matoran bodies, and like old Anika bodies. Even stuff like these that were introduced with the Star Wars line that help hold a gearbox. I put those in there. Just a bunch of parts in there. I'll probably go through all of them in a future video, but not right now. There's just too much to go over. And let's move our little box over. And if you guys watch my series Biorama, you know what this is about. This is my RIP Biorama tombstone, or RIP Bionicle, sorry. But these are heads. These are masks, and they do have the Bionicle headpieces with the brain stalks in here. I just didn't know where else to put them, so I put them in here, including stuff like Hero Factory and even like Chima Ultra Build heads and all the Star Wars heads, and this is weird. Just a bunch of different stuff that I had no room for. They're all heads, and they are very cool. I like them. And I'm really stupid because I did not realize that this guy was pretty much a snake until, like, now. So, I am very stupid. I did not realize that the front of the mask was supposed to be a snake. I really am stupid. But, yeah, there's that. I'm going to go ahead and make one cut, and then we'll get to the final 2 buckets. I'm currently at a disadvantage here because I cannot bring my lamp any farther than I need to have it. But these pieces are a bit stranger. We have... Holy crap, I did not realize how messed up this part actually was. Holy mackerel. That is definitely going in the broken parts bucket, so ripperoni. But these are all my G1 limbs and armor plates. Now, I know what you're going to say. What is this doing in here? I was going to put it in with the CCBS armor. No room for that, though, unfortunately. It just did not fit at all. And I was like, wow. So I just put it in here, and I do have 4 of those Unity pieces, not including the gunmetal one that is, or including the gunmetal one that is not in here. So a bunch of these parts, I have like Hero Factory shells and stuff like that. Even, these are actually from my first set that I ever built. So, you guys comment what you think my very first Bionicle set was, based on these 2 pieces. If you get it right, I don't know, I'll give you a cookie or something. But that's cool. I definitely need to sort through that one. Obviously, there's a lot of broken parts in there. Oh well. Now for my final bucket that I have here. Out of all the stuff, more miscellany. As you can see, it's just a crap load of stuff that I have yet to not sort into any buckets. And this one's even bigger. It's insane. There's so many parts in here. I'm not very happy with this bucket. It's like every time I have to think about this bucket, I'm like, ugh. But there's just so many parts in here that it just drives me crazy. And there are lots in here. As you can see, I just pulled one off the very top. Like, as you can see, I don't even have to dip my hand in there. I just go. And I can pull a part out. So, yeah. That's actually about it. And that's about it. I want to say thank you everyone for watching this video. If you did decide to watch this video, I know it's a very long one, but it's kind of a sacrifice to make when you have this many parts. Even if a lot of people think it's not very much, and it probably isn't. But, yeah. So I want to say thank you to all the new subscribers I've been getting, especially since I've reached like 168, I think. It's a very cool achievement. I'm still at 150 pretty much. But, you know, maybe soon I'll get to 200. Maybe. I'm not really. We'll see what the future holds for me. I really don't know. But I've been having a blast on this channel, and especially with this new video. This kind of came from my, I wouldn't call us friends, but we've talked a little bit, and his name is Play Stippling. He's uploaded a video very similar to this, and this is where I got the inspiration for that video. I plan to make another one once my collection is 100% completed, no matter how long that takes, 3, 5, or 10 years, I will do that video. It is an absolute guarantee. Hopefully my content will be a little bit better by then. Self-loathing. Loathing, sorry. Wow. I'm not having the best speech day. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching, and like I said, if you did stick through the entire video, You're awesome. Leave a like if you would like, and maybe subscribe if you are new to this channel. It's not required though. Just a little suggestion if you want to get more of my content. So, thank you guys so much. More mock reviews coming out soon, and another long video like this actually coming out very soon. You'll have to wait to see what that is though. So, I'm Renzo Mox, and goodbye everyone.